Welcome to another early morning show.
Good morning, welcome back. Early morning again. So let's talk some music. How about this t-shirt? Here's a neat one. I got this about, I don't know, 17, 18 years ago. When my taekwondo gym, we went to Korea to work out with the Koreans. And we went to, this is from like a junior high school gym. So we went in there. Now I'm the old guy. I'm in my 30s, early 40s. Time flies when you're having fun. So they gave us these T-shirts, isn't it? From their gym that we went there to have. So isn't that cute? Isn't that nice? It looks so happy. They beat the snot out of us. Oh my God! Actually, we went in, we did patterns, we worked out with them, and then they asked the guys, "All right, who wants to fight?" Not me, man. Some of our guys, let's go and do it. We brought in some of our best fighters, and these kids just they flew. I mean, they're flying in the air. Oh my God, look at them go! A lot of energy there, but Taekwondo is the Korean national sport. Everybody does it, and it was something else. And yeah, there were some bruises that day, but they gave us a cute T-shirt. And has a cat. I got a cat on me, so I think we're ready to go. It's kind of raining out, so can you believe 3 weeks in a row Cat has joined us? Isn't that something? Yeah, I know. Everyone's excited to have you too. Exactly. Now, you want to sit down? So let's there's a lot here. No African music. I forgot to take out African music. But I promise you, I got a lot of music of names I can't pronounce right. So don't you worry. We may not have African, but we're going to some other countries. Let's just begin. A couple things I replaced in my collection. And this is from, it's called Intervention Records. It's 100% and off the analog tape, 180 gram vinyl. Here's one of them. Joe Jackson's Look Sharp. It's Joe Jackson's very first album that he put out. Came out in the late 70s. Absolutely love this one. It's one of my all-time favorite Joe Jacksons. I figure there's only 3 Joe Jacksons I need. This one has Is She Really Going Out With Him? Such an incredibly good song. And at the same time, I decided, why not pick up Joe Jackson's I'm the Man, 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 if you don't know that song. Another wonderful one. It has, what was the one I really like on it? Well, I'm the Man's the one I really like. This was his second album that he did. And Joe Jackson, he was one of the 3 Angry Young Men. I've talked about him before. There was him. Costello was kind of pissed off. Was it Graham Parker, the other one, I believe? And so they really put out some more punky. Now, of course, he had the piano in his, but it had the flavor and the energy of punk. And then Jackson began to change, and he's been a chameleon. And these are 2, for me, essential Joe Jackson albums. The other one's Night and Day. And I have a regular copy of Night and Day, and eventually I'm going to get one of these special 180 grams off in Intervention Records. So, I learned about these from Michael 45 RPM. He was talking about that and how you can find these better pressings. Again, not buying as much, though I know you're going, well, seriously? You're always showing a lot. I'm not. Just spending a little more. I mean, a lot of this stuff's from people like you. But let's talk about probably one of my favorite albums so far this year. One I have been jamming to, trying to keep all my stuff. Oh, no, I had this one here I wanted to talk about too. Everyone's talked about, so I'm not really going to go into it. It's the Pretenders from that record store day, 2 record store days ago. Yeah, I'm still listening to that stuff. Haven't got to it. This is from a 1980 concert. I bought this one because it's the concerts off their first album, which I bought when I was in college, which I really, really liked. And it is a wonderful, its sound quality is great. Good energy, do a great job with all the songs. The thing is, they have this stupid plastic packaging, and I see them doing more and more of this. Just knock it off. Hey, any record store people watching this, knock off this flimsy plastic wrapping. it sucks. Don't do this. Skip the colored vinyl for all I care, but give good packaging. That bends now. I mean, I saw it in this record store day. It's like the thing to do, maybe to keep costs down, but as a record collector, it sucks. Stop it. All right. And now moving on to something more positive. One of my absolute favorite albums of this year that has come out, I just got this in, from Woof Lorenzon. UFFE. How's is that? Woof? Out of Denmark and Copenhagen area. The name of the album, it's in Danish, so I don't know. Magisk Realism? I don't know. I can't tell you. This Lorenzon, we're going to call him because I can say that one. Yeah, he is the lead singer from Baby Woodrose, and I've showed quite a few of their albums. He also had a group and was called Spade Norgenthal. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm saying it means Liberty Cap, which is a magic mushroom. Okay, I mean, his groups, they've made really this, really kind of cool psychedelic rock type music. Well, Lorenzon, the leader, the main singer, this is his third solo album, and the first two were done more acoustic. This one begins to rock out. It's kind of I would say laid back psych would be a good way to do it. Just kind of sit back and chill and feel it. But other songs are very similar to Baby Woodrose. They're a little bit more rocking. I'm going to play you two cuts from this, okay? I mean, I really have liked this. A lot of people don't know it, and that's fine. There's the song Come Noon. Anybody from Denmark, please feel free, or any other Scandinavian language, tell me what any of this means. But there's this beautiful pedal steel guitar. There's this beat going on down below, just this beautiful, cool kind of groove that they build, and then the steel guitar comes in and just slices into the song, and his vocals are fantastic. And again, it's all sung in Danish, but it really works. There's a song, what is it? Tryin Trish. I'm sorry, I just regretfully, I'm not going to pronounce any of this right, so why bother? But there's some songs that has this like a dreamy, almost kind of guitar, and then these layered vocals that come in. Then there's some songs, and it's kind of retro 60s type psych, but it is totally updated for what's going on now, and you can feel it. It's fresh music. Even the closing song, they don't even use drums. It's just his vocals and guitar going on. Very interesting. And the very first song, it's just kind of a rocker. It starts off with this guitar groove going, and then goes, yeah! He comes in and does it. You can find, he has a couple videos on YouTube that you can see and check out his stuff. I have so enjoyed this album. I bought it on Bandcamp. It's just black vinyl, and so I pre-ordered it. One of you, might have been Jacob Moenrock, someone else, told me that he was going to be putting this out. So I went into Bandcamp, and Bandcamp's, that's a big thing. That's almost kind of, you get lost in Bandcamp. There's so much crap. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but if I know where I'm going, I'm pretty good in there. One of my all-time favorite albums this year. Absolutely love it a lot. I received this from Olaf Labitz, and Olaf, I apologize for your last name. It's up there. He's out of Switzerland. He sent me some SCLT, and this is one of them. And the group, they're out of Denmark again. Hey, this is a kind of a Danish beginning. Papier. It looks like paper, but it has an I instead of an E. So whatever. It's a 3-piece semi-improvisational psych rock band. And this is Papier 3, which means, guess what? It's its third album. They're not really big on titles, this group. This, I guess, I don't know, if I had to explain, it's kind of like an explosion of guitar solos with krautrock grooves going on beneath it. Really great stuff. Then there's this peaceful, atmospheric soundscapes that they perform. Blew me away. What a great album. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great stuff coming out of from our Scandinavian friends out there. Incredible things. I sold some stuff last week. I'm just got to go there and go record collecting. That's all I can tell you. This thing's just filled with great grooves from the bass and the drums. Sounds fantastic. The songs is Papier 3.1, Papier 3.2, Papier 3.3. That's how it goes. Again, they're not into the song titles. It really has these really good searing guitars and kind of these frantic rhythms that just build beneath this whole thing. I would say their influences, when you would think about influences, would be more, I guess, post-rock, kind of like Tortoise would be the group I would think about, but yet there's also the groove of the Grateful Dead going on underneath because they build that, and I am a total groove kind of person. You give me a group that throws down an awesome groove, I am totally in, because it's just, for me, it's very relaxing. This was a fun thing. Ultimate Spinach. It's in the shrink. It is almost perfect. It was pretty incredible. Look at this inner sleeve, folks. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's like whoever bought this never played it or kept it very well taken care of. I bought this down in Toledo, and probably a couple months ago, finally showing it. I was just in Toledo this week and picked up some. It cost me for just a few albums, but what I found was just beautiful, and I'll be showing that. But one was the Stooges, their first album, and there's no dings. It looks like no one did drugs on it. But so this is Ultimate Spinach. This is their second album called Behold and See. This came out in 1967. By the way, that Papier album, when did that come out? That was 2013. I forgot to tell you that. So PIPIR, whatever, came out in 2013. So this came out in 67. Again, part of that boss tone sounds that I've mentioned on a few of the different broadcasts. Again, it was psychedelia in Boston, and we're doing our own thing, That's, you got to do that in Boston. Yeah, it's how, what would you got to make it wicked. So they wanted to make their own wicked type music, and so they created the boss tone sound, which copied everybody else's. But this was their second album, and I'm sorry, this came out in 68, 67 is when the Ultimate Spinach started. This is more subdued than the first one. It was basically kind of a loose concept album, kind of talking about how we shouldn't worry about what is normal, what's the norm, and it's not about that, man. You know what I mean? Normal society, what's going on with that? So that was kind of the concept. It's kind of a lush, floating female vocals are in this. There is some fuzz guitar, shall we say, and some 60s psychedelic guitar and jangle going on. But it's a quieter. I like this better than the first Ultimate Spinach. And I think it's just there's not as much all out there kind of stuff happening. Now the thing is, it's more subdued, and I think because there's so much infighting going on within the group Ultimate Spinach, and they were beginning to fall apart, and which they did after the second album. It's, shall we say, it's more pastoral hippie than psych, and it's kind of jazzy. I mean, actually, they really get into some jazz type grooves. So just beautiful copy. Okay, I like that better than the first one, and just really minty.
But then you find that all you've seen has gone. Desperation grabs you by the throat. You know you're sinking, but still you try to float. High-pitched screaming blocks out everything you hear, but still you pretend that there's nothing to fear. You come on strong, you need nobody's help. It's plain to see you just don't know yourself.
Joy Division. Sorry, gotta have a cup of coffee. That's why we make it, right? So this Joy Division, called Still, came out in 1981. Super cool inside, isn't it? That opens up. There's the record albums in there. We'll pull one out. So again, this in 81, it is really kind of, they went into the vaults. There are 2 songs on here that had already been reissued. Then they found some unreleased tracks and they put on a live album. What had happened is, in May in 80, their singer Curtis, died. So suddenly the market's being flooded with bootlegs. Everybody, I got a bootleg, yeah, you got a bootleg. And they began coming out, and the Cricket's coming, and he's going, holy crap, there's the label there. What are we going to do here? These guys are sucking up the market. So they went back to the vault and said, well, we got to put out our own kind of thing. And they did. So they found these unreleased tracks and a live show. And the live show's from Birmingham University. And I think it was performed shortly before Curtis's death, which makes it kind of cool. Joy Division was a band. They weren't punk, but they were inspired by the energy of punk. And what makes their music, and when you listen to it, kind of interesting, is the bass line really carries the melody, and then the guitar just sears in and out and does kind of its own thing. And of course, Curtis's voice, he had that kind of that bass, that low voice that was just spooky, kind of creepy sounding. The live performance on here, it's aggressive. It sounds instrumentally, it sounds good, but his voice is really hard to hear and hard to understand. So I mean, you don't make him out as well, and I think it's just because the band is really on fire and just really going, and he's trying to get above it, but it's really hard. I did like, what really made me buy this is they do a version of Sister Ray from the Velvet Underground. How could I say no to that one, huh? Is this an essential Joy Division? No. It's not. This is if you have a bunch of the others, which I used to, which I don't, but I saw it and I thought, let me try this thing. And this thing was made in Portugal. I mean, how often do you get a record from Portugal? Unless you're from Portugal. Then you probably have a whole lot of them. Little jazz for my friend Tootin in England. What would be with me not having some jazz? Some SCLT from an anonymous source. this Stanley Turrentine, and I've always liked his playing. I remember a few years back I went to a record store down in Detroit, and there was a song playing. And God, this is so cool. And I went up and said, "What are you playing?" He goes, "It's Stanley Turrentine. It's Sugar." Bought it right then and there. I mean, the record store did. Oops, I saved it. I saved it for everybody. Record store did what a good record store should do. Put music on that gets you excited, that makes you buy it. That, to me, is the ultimate. My guy here, Jim at Radio Wasteland, he's pretty good at that. He'll throw crap on. They get me interested. I know he does. But that's how I got into Stanley Turrentine. This is just... Again, it's a really, really good album. You know, he's born in Pittsburgh in '34, died in '00 in the aughts. I mean, the beginning of the aughts. He's been considered one of the best tenor sax players of all time. He didn't play bop. He didn't really do bebop. He played more what I guess you would call soul jazz. And this is an excellent soul jazz album. Sounds so good. I'm telling you, there is Smile Stacy. It begins with Smile Stacy. And I could put on I was able to play some of this. Here's the thing. I find that all the stuff I'm putting on, I'm not going to get any money from all the commercials that I run on my channel. Oh, wait, I don't run any, so they're getting screwed. They get nothing from me. Yeah, man. Which is kind of why I don't do the ads. You know, I'd be interested in doing them, but why? Because I'm going to play samples and they're going to take all the money, so why bother? I'm not going to do it. Not going to, so screw it. You get the samples. I digress. So this, again, it's really, there's this first one, Smile Stacy. You talk about energy, groove, fun, punk. There's just outstanding piano and bass lines just going on. What a great song. There's soft pedal blues. That just has this really nice, deep blues groove going on. You know, this, some folks will say, is one of the foundations of what soul jazz really, really was about. And in fact, there's a song called That's What It's About. And I believe this came out in 1962. Turrentine's on tenor sax, Les McCann on piano, Herbie Lewis bass, Otis Finch on drums. And quite honestly, I'm not familiar with many of those other players. You know, they must not have been putting out a lot of their albums, solo albums. But great album. Totally love this thing. It is so good. So if you're looking at tone poets and you want something really accessible, really fun to listen to, you won't go wrong here. This is really is. It's super accessible and just great, great music. Really nice. Minutes here. We got to go. I got 3 more to go. How about this one here? So this is The Underrated Silence. And it's from 2 musicians. Ulrich Schnaus. Was it Schnaus? Schnaus, I believe. Ulrich Schnaus. He's an electronic musician. And then the other one is Mark Peters. He's in a group called Engineers. And he's a guitarist. So they put this together, and this came out in 2012, and one of you recommended that I should listen to this. So if I listen to it, I'll just buy it instead. Both these guys played in shoegaze bands in the 90s. This is ambient music. It's not like the neoclassic or whatever. It's more ambient, it's more chilled, it's more relaxing. If that's your kind of thing, you would really enjoy it. Absolutely. Look at that. Even the label's chilled. Black vinyl here. It's very good. Is it as good as, I mean, I really like Max Richter, Valmoria. Michael, noted and archived, his group. I like how those go more. It's just more orchestration. Here you do get the different electronics. There are the guitars going on. It's very good music. I really like this. It's not going to be my favorite album in the world, but I've listened to it a number of times just to kind of when you want to relax and put something on. So pretty cool. This was a neat one. I had never seen this album before. This is Curtis Mayfield's Sweet Exorcist. All the lyrics are in there. We have that. This is off. That's off Curtis's own label right there. That's pretty neat, huh? So this album came out in 1974. And it is one, Curtis Mayfield, what was cool about him is he was one of the first African-American artists really to start talking about pride and the struggle in the community that was going on. He really got into the whole politics. He did the singing, he does the songwriting, he does the producing, and then put it on his own album. He's also what they consider one of the founders of Chicago Soul Sound. How often do you hear about the Chicago Soul Sound? Not a whole lot, but that's Mayfield. And this thing is really, really good. He just did everything. There is like Ain't Got Time. It's just funky as all get out. Just takes off. But he has some really sweet, lush ballads on here, like Sweet Exorcist, which is really, it's just some nice love songs. But for me, for Curtis Mayfield, I like when he gets into his funk because he has the groove. Fun pickup. Really enjoyed that one. I had never seen it. Mayfield's really good.
Make a mess of me, which wasn't supposed to be. We were supposed to change. It couldn't be arranged. Your mama saw and sisters do. All here today should not include. Say exit loud. I'll help myself. Just trust your sign. Ain't got no time.
Final one's Barcade. This was Vinyl Me Please. And I think the biggest thing I liked with this came, they started in '67, and they were with Stax. Well, when Otis Redding went down the plane, he took 4 of the Barcades with him, so they had to reform. And so they did. When the '70s, Stax wasn't putting out any of their music. Stax went under, so the Barcades went into Mercury. Mercury put out an album, and the Barcades became huge, just giant. So Stax now are reformed, I believe, as Fantasy. So they go into the vaults, and they find this Barcade stuff in their vaults, and they put this album out. So though this album came out in, I believe it was 78, the music's from the early 70s, and it has that kind of funk. You're not getting disco-y or anything. And so this was this other record label trying to cash in on the Barcades because they didn't release their crap earlier. And so out comes this. Great stuff, man. It's just funk. I mean, I love soul and funk. I love it when it really gets down, it gets dirty, it gets a groove, and that's what this has. It's just vintage funk with old school groove. Really good stuff. There's some really killer things in here. Just some like Mean Mistreater. It's just unbelievable killer hooks on that thing. Holy Ghost, how it starts off. It has this hard groove, and then it's just the synthesizer, kind of a thick synthesizer bass line, just comes in and destroys the song just in a great way. Cool stuff from Vinyl Me Please. Really like that. Well, Cat was pretty good, don't you think? I think so. He, yeah, meow, meow, meow. So thanks, everyone, for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm kind of working on a Beatles special. I just listened to every single Beatles album, probably for the first time ever that I've sat and listened to every single Beatles album. I'm ranking them. It's going to be kind of different than what everyone else would rank them, but that's the way it goes. And want to talk about it. Maybe a 2-part episode, midweek thing. I'll see if I get it done this week. If not, it's not. Appreciate everyone. Thank you. Enjoy your week. Bye.